Hello and welcome to That 90s Vibe, the mini podcast based on the book that gives you the origin stories behind some of your favorite 90s R&B hits. I am your host Ali Tavares, and today we will examine Richmond, California's own Sons of Funk and discuss how they got their big break via divine intervention from a few sources. Most notably from a man who would become a rap god, but at the time was just an up-and-coming rapper and entrepreneur named Percy Miller, aka Master P, who signed them to his new label, No Limit Records, in 1996. Okay, so the title, Pushin Inside of You, leaves little to the imagination in terms of what the song is about. But that has been a typical Sons of Funk theme throughout their career, with raunchy titles like Making Love to My Bitch, Big Butt, Pull Out, and Bust, prominently featured in their catalog. However, from the beginning, the four members of the group, Rico, Lorenzo Zo Chu, Des, and G Smooth, styled themselves as bad boys. In a 1997 interview with Radio Free Richmond, group member Zo explained, "The song is a perfect summary of what Sons of Funk are about. We was trying to take the song to a controversial level. A little something to show people what we're about." Rico echoed the sentiment, explaining, "We have a different edge. We're not like Boys II Men. People are looking for music that's smooth as silk, but they also want something sexual with a gritty edge. When you listen to a Sons of Funk record, that's what you get." But it was back in Richmond nearly 2 years earlier when group member Rico first met Master P. As he explains,
I was at the barbershop. It was this real popular barbershop in Richmond, California called Mark's Barbershop. And that's where everybody that was anybody came to that one particular shop, right? So Master P, he had just came from New Orleans. So I walk in and I see this picture of this dude with these golds in his mouth. And he with a gang of other cats, right? So I asked my homeboy Alamo, I looked at this picture. I said, "Who is this?" He said, "Oh, that's Master P from New Orleans." I was like, "Really, man? You know, he look like he can do something, right?" Man, about 5-10 minutes later, P walks into the barbershop. The brother had a personality, man, that was bigger than life. He had everybody in there rolling. Hey, don't get it twisted. P could easily stop rapping and become a comic. He was hilarious. So he recognized me from doing a lot of singing around town and different venues and stuff like Black Family Day in Sacramento, at Davis. That was real popular. So he had said, he had seen me out there. And so we made a pact with each other right then and there, man. He looked at me, he said right next to me, man, he said, "Hey, man, if ever you make it, will you help me? And if ever I make it, I'll help you." I was like, "Man, hell yeah, man." I was broken and glad.
By the time Sons of Funk and Master P would cross paths again, Rico would have already penned Pushin Inside of You, which he came up with after praying to God to put a song in his head that people will love, and Master P would have inked a 7-figure record deal. Rico explained, "One day while at work he heard a voice tell him that if he didn't go to LA in 72 hours that he would never make it in the music industry." That day, he said he told his fellow group members to quit their jobs because they had to go to LA or they would never make it. Following Rico's message, the group members did quit their jobs, packed some chicken and bologna sandwiches, and headed to LA, where the voice told him to go to Priority Records. It was at Priority Records that Rico describes meeting Master P, saying,
"Long story short, man, we went to LA in a raggedy red truck, man. We had to hold it and drive all the way there. And we hit a bump, it would fly and park, and we would go through the window, right? To get to LA, man. So something told me inside, man, say, go to Priority Records, right? I go to Priority Records. So we were sitting there, man. 15 minutes later, in comes P again, like at the barbershop. I swear, man. Bro, the dude had this halo. And I was like, whoa. I was like, oh, snap. But watch this. I had no idea P was a multimillionaire. No idea. All I heard from, coming from Richmond was P had got a record deal. He had possibly got like between $150,000-$200,000 record deal, right? And I was just like, well, man, I might as well try to hook up with my boy, at least get something under my belt, right? So I said, P, man, what's going on? He's like, what's going on, man? I said, yeah, man, we want to hook up with you, dog. We need a deal. We out here bad. You feel me? He was like, man, you really still singing? I said, yeah, you still rapping? He said, yeah. He said, come on with me, man. Let's go upstairs. I was like, oh, okay. So we get on the elevator, and he says this, man. He said, listen, if your music is what you say it is, I'm gonna make you guys one of the most popular R&B group in the world, especially in the United States. I was like, what? You serious? He said, yeah, man. I said, look, bro, you think we gonna be bigger than Jodeci? Like Jodeci or bigger. That's all I cared about, right? So he like started laughing. He said, yeah, and I'm gonna put some money in y'all pocket too. I was like, for real? So he gets in the office. Man, Pete put on Pushing Inside You. It took all him two seconds, dog. He was like, man, get the contracts out. Sign these boys up, man. He said, man, listen, I'm going to put $100,000 in each one of you guys' pocket. I was like,
Pushin' Inside of You was an underground hit despite not reaching the R&B chart and only reaching number 97 on the Hot 100. Sons of Funk followed the song with a collaboration on another No Limit smash, this time a rap track, 1998's I Got the Hook Up, which peaked at number 11 on the R&B chart. The group also produced songs on Master P's Ghetto D and Silk the Shockers Made Man albums. This has been That 90s Vibe, the mini podcast based on the book that gives you the origin stories behind some of your favorite 90s R&B hits. I am your host, Ali Tavares. Thank you for listening.